but we culture. Rap the new rock and roll. We culture. Rap is the new rock and roll. We the rock stars.
It's been like that now for a minute.
It's been like that for a minute, Hedy Stamane. It's been like that for a minute. So what I want to explain to everybody out there is like, I make music, I can do it, but I shouldn't be limited to only one place of creativity. And it's literally only like 1 or 2 or 3 reasons why I haven't been able to break that down.
Kanye West is one of the most controversial artists of all time. And regardless of how controversial you think Kanye is as a person, most people recognize Kanye as a musical genius. Kanye has had one of the greatest careers, if not the greatest career in all of rap, and it is really hard to come by someone who hates Kanye's music. So what would happen if Kanye made an album that would make it impossible for you to separate the art from the artist? And well, I think that's where Yeezus came into play.
Hey, do you like Kanye West?
So let's rewind to the early 2010s real quick. Kanye releases My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy in 2010, and that is considered to be one of the greatest albums of all time.
When Dark Twisted Fantasy came out in 2010, I think he really came into his own, both musically and lyrically.
Which was great for Kanye, you know. In the late 2000s, it seemed like Kanye was about to witness his fall off, with 808s and Heartbreaks not being the best received album. And then what happened in the 2009 VMAs. It wasn't looking nice for Kanye, but he was able to recover. Also in the early 2010s, Kanye would team up with Jay-Z to release Watch the Throne.
The Herman's a versus, sophisticated ignorance, write my curses in cursive.
Not gonna lie, in terms of Kanye albums, this is one of the most underrated. I understand why people tend to forget about it, but personally, I just think it's underrated. The next solo Kanye album was gonna have a lot of expectations. It was the follow-up to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and people were probably hyped for it. So if you're Kanye, how do you follow up My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? And the answer is that you don't.
Kanye's decided to release this, Yeezus, the most exciting record so far. It should be obvious by now that New Slaves is the undisputed masterpiece on Yeezus. A song so catchy, most people won't even remember the lyrics.
Where My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy seemed to be a mastermind planned by Kanye with the perfect rollout, the perfect album covers, every verse was perfect, and it was designed for the average listener to enjoy the album. But Yeezus was Kanye saying, fuck you, I'm Kanye.
Bitch, I'm back out my coma, waking up on your sofa.
That's honestly how I imagine Kanye pitched it to people. He was just like, yo, I'm making this album. What's it about, Kanye? It's about me doing whatever I want and people are gonna buy it because I'm dope. And honestly, I feel like that explains the whole album. Like, the album starts off with On Sight.
Season approaching, fuck whatever y'all been hearing, fuck what.
I remember the first time I was listening to this, like, yo, what the fuck did I just get into? And then this happens. Which may seem odd to everybody, and it definitely is odd to a certain point, but once you listen to what they're saying, it makes sense. What you need is Kanye, and you might not get the Kanye that you want, but shit, that's what you need, right? So like, you're gonna listen to Kanye. And honestly, I don't think this is Kanye speaking to the fan, as I low-key believe that Yeezus is directed at the industry, and probably more specifically Nike. I know officially it's called Nike, it's okay. I like calling it Nike though.
And I brought back that feeling you ain't never felt about about a shoe since the Jordans.
Now, around this time, Nike and Kanye would essentially break up. They'd stop working together and go their own ways, with Kanye describing it as heartbreaking. And low-key, if you listen to Yeezus, it does sound like a breakup album.
We could have been somebody.
You love me so much, then why'd you let me go?
Around this time, Kanye also went on a lot of rants.
More ideas that don't involve shoes. But if you guys are investing in the arts, y'all want to invest in this school in Brazil, y'all want to go to Africa, I'm standing up and I'm telling you, I am Warhol.
I know everybody has their personal favorite because there's a lot of classic clips from this time.
If you can communicate this product, you can make money off the product. Because look at Gaga. She's the creative director of Polaroid. I like some of the Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras?
But personally, my favorite rant was the rant that Kanye had in Chicago. This was during the tour for Yeezus, and Kanye would say this.
We should have never ever let Michael Jordan
play for the Wizards.
Now, this clip is very funny. Like, as a society, everybody chooses to not remember Michael Jordan on the Wizards. But when you understand Kanye's message by saying Michael Jordan should have never played for the Wizards, you get a better understanding of Kanye's frustrations with the industry and a better idea of what Yeezus was going for. Let me explain. In 1998, Michael Jordan retires from basketball for the second time after winning his 6th championship with the Chicago Bulls. Throughout his career, Michael Jordan was able to transform the Bulls from a team that was struggling to sell tickets into a worldwide phenomenon. So because of that, you would think that Bulls owner Jerry Reinsdorf would do anything for MJ. Unfortunately, that's not really true, as he is a big reason for why MJ decided to retire in 1998. However, after his playing days, Jerry did reach out to Michael Jordan and offered him a job with the Chicago Bulls. But Michael Jordan was only interested in being a part owner of the Chicago Bulls, which Jerry declined. This is where the Wizards come in, as they would offer Michael Jordan minority ownership of the Wizards. Michael Jordan would agree, and this is what eventually led to Michael Jordan playing for the Wizards. But if you really think about it, considering everything that Michael Jordan did for the city of Chicago and the Chicago Bulls, considering that the Bulls are most likely not an NBA franchise if Michael Jordan didn't exist, and considering how much money he generated for Jerry Reinsdorf, you would think he would do anything possible for Michael Jordan to not suit up for the Washington Wizards. And that wasn't the case, which is Kanye's point. When you get to the big billionaires and bajillionaires and all of those big people with big money, they are blinded by the money, unwilling to help and unwilling to change for the pursuit of profit. I guess that's just the effects of capitalism when you really think about it. So now we get back to Kanye West. A guy from Chicago, he gets big enough to collaborate with Nike, and he's the main factor for one of Nike's most iconic shoes of the last 20 years. He's making profit with Nike, and the people want the shoes, but Nike don't want to pay him like Kanye wants to be paid.
I need some type of royalty. Nike told me, we can't give you a royalty because you're not a professional athlete. I told them I go to the Garden and play one on no one.
Which leads to Kanye and Nike separating. In both situations, Michael Jordan and Kanye West were justifiable in the demands that they were making, but you know what they say. It's been a decade since Kanye dropped Yeezus, and as time goes on, we realize more and more that Kanye was right. He would move on to work with Adidas, and he had the most popular shoes of the 2010s. I did not research that, but I'm probably right. Yeezus is now a fan favorite of Kanye fans. It's also an album that helped Kanye in the long term, as a lot of the elements in Yeezus can be found in most albums, if not all the albums that Kanye has released since. As for Michael Jordan, he is the proud owner of the Charlotte Bobcats, and he also became a billionaire in 2014, so I guess things turned out alright for him. But yeah, with that being said, shout out to Jay Dilla, and yeah.